So Lot then does something that is very shocking. He tries to talk the men of the city out of raping the two angels, and he offers his two daughters instead. Isn't that crazy? And that's really hard to read and to hear. But and I'm not even sure what God is trying to tell us through this. I mean, it's certainly recorded for us to read, but it could be, kind of like Abraham and Isaac, how Abraham almost sacrifices Isaac. He offers his daughters in the place of these two men, and we have to realize that that is sad and heartbreaking, and that is what God did with Jesus Christ. He offered his son in our place. And just think about that. Dwell on that, about how heartbreaking that was for God the Father to do that. And Jesus did it willingly. And he took our place. We should be destroyed and pay the penalty of sin, which is eternal death, eternal separation from God, and all the good things that he has made. And we don't have to if we have faith in Christ, because he offered his son Jesus for that. And Jesus and the Father had to experience separation. Jesus had to experience just being beaten and tortured and spit on and mocked and nailed to a cross, and experience the suffocation that comes from the crucifixion. I mean, can you imagine offering your child to take someone's place in that? And so for me, that's kind of the picture I get from this situation. Fortunately, that's not what happened. The angels blinded the men, and so the girls didn't have to experience that. And maybe even another way to interpret it is to say that Lot compromised. He chose what he thought was the less of two evils. And I think we could learn, whether this is saying that or not, that when you compromise, your children suffer, whether it's your spiritual children, the people you're trying to influence and disciple, or whether it's your physical children or those you adopted. Anytime we parents or we people who are mentoring other people, when we compromise, our children suffer. And so don't compromise. And so maybe that's the two things we can learn from this. Don't compromise, because your children will suffer. And then realize just how heartbreaking and intense the decision was for the Father to give up his son for us.